Hey guys, welcome back to another Sims 4 house building video. This home is my Rose Manor home, and believe it or not, this home actually came to me in a dream. Now, when I say it came to me, it didn't actually, in my dream I came up with all the blueprints of this home. It was just a home in my dream that I noticed the way that the front of the house looked, and it really interested me, and I woke up immediately afterward and started drawing up some blueprints to this home. Now, this home is not designed for a large family. This home is more of like maybe something that a grandma and grandpa would live in. It's a really small home. It's really designed for just maybe two people. And what I try to do with this home is I try to challenge myself just a little bit on working with the colors to stray away from me using so many monotone colors. I still do a little bit of white in this home, and I'm working on trying to get away from just doing white and black. So, like I said, I go with the light blue theme for this home. Now, I set up just a small space for the living room, and I'm trying to get the lighting in here. But I also wanted to do this house fairly cheap so that if you were to download this house, it could be used as a starter home. But you'll see later on that after I get the basics of this house done and I do really well with the budget of this house, I kind of just go crazy and it goes way over budget. There's no way that this can be a starter home, but it gives you a good idea of using this home as a house to use when you want to challenge yourself with your Sims. So if you maybe give yourself some extra money or you download the house on a lot or something like that, it's an expensive home, but there's plenty of room in this home for improvements. Now I go in and I'm changing up all the coloring on the furniture in this house because, like I said, I'm trying to stay away from the whites. I also worked on adding carpet into this home. I'm a big fan of hardwood floors, but how many houses do you see these days that actually have just hardwood floors everywhere? Now, right here underneath the stairs, I'm trying to fix the wall because if you notice, there was a little bit of a gap. So I figured, well, what if I can put in my own wall to try and fix it? And it doesn't work out too well, so I end up just doing the wall a little bit longer with a half wall at the end of the stairs. And it worked out pretty well. Now, this house is actually going to have a basement to it. So, right underneath the stairs in the house, there's going to be a separate room. You enter that room, and there's your stairs to go down into the basement. Now, I have plans for the basement, and we will get to them shortly, but I wanted to add in just the coloring of the basement so that I remind myself what I wanted to do there. We're going in and adding in the stairs to the front and back entrances of the home because this house is actually on a foundation, which later on in the video, see, I'll have a little bit of complications with the foundation because I wanted the house to stay on a foundation, but because there is a basement, it kind of makes some of the walls a little bit wonky on the height. Now we're over here on the second floor of this home, and the entire second floor is the bedroom and one bathroom. So like I said, it's a small home, more of just for two Sims, but it's kind of nice thinking that all of the second floor of this home is just your bedroom. It makes it very spacious, tons of room for improvement, and I honestly think it looks pretty good. It looks like a grandma and grandpa's home, something that's very simple just for two people to live in. So if you download the house, you can actually use it for long-term Sims and see how far you can get with them on a small family. Now we're editing in the bathroom here, just simple little bathroom. There's nothing to it. Adding in a little bit more windows to try and get some more light into this room without doing too many lights. So after working on the second story of this room, we start to work on more of the finer details, adding in some rugs and stuff like that. And then we get ready to jump down into the basement to start preparing the basement. Now, what I wanted to do with the basement is I wanted to keep it as a hangout spot for maybe like a guy's night out, something like that. And what I end up doing with it is I make the entire basement a bar. Now, it's not a bar that you would have just strangers come. It's more of like a guy's night. Like, let's say you have a bunch of friends and the guys want to hang out and have a good time. They're going to come over to this house and they're going to hang out down in the basement. Now, I worked on putting the bar, having the back of the bar, instead of it just being bottles, it's going to be more of like a TV hangout. It's more of like a kind of like a sports bar. That way they can sit over here at the bar, at the benches, have a couple of drinks, watch the game on the TV. They have a refrigerator, a dartboard down here, and just give them a little bit more entertainment down here. Now, I did want to keep the entire bar on that brown theme, and I do use this pre-made bar as reference to help me with the decorations. Now, I know some of you guys are probably thinking that, because I'm using the pre-made bar, it's kind of going above and beyond of you're just basically taking the pre-made, throwing it in a house, and you're saying that it's yours. And that's not entirely true. I came up with the idea myself. I just use the pre-made bar as something to help me along with decorations. Now, here is the part of the video where, because I have the house on a foundation, it gives me a hard time with the basement. Now, what I do here is I wanted to have an exterior entrance to this bar so that if friends come over, they don't have to come through the house and go down into the basement. They can come around the back of the house and straight down into the basement. So if you play this house, it's a good idea to do maybe clubs, and you can have the guys have their club downstairs and the girls can have their club upstairs. Now, we kind of just go in and do a bunch of decorations on this home. There's not much to it. We, like I said, just work on the exterior of this home, having an entrance downstairs. But like I said, we can have 2 clubs. Maybe a book reading club for the ladies and a drinking club for the guys. Now we're going to start working on the exterior of the house, working on sprucing up all the plants. And there's that glitch that I was telling you about where I'm having a hard time with the foundation, where it wants to count the edge of the foundation as its own platform. I don't know why the game did that, but we worked ourselves around it. I wanted to do the yard all closed off and have a white fence around, but the problem with doing that was it was going to make everything more difficult because I was confining everything to a smaller space, and it didn't seem right to have the same fence around the entire home. So I decided to use trees as kind of like my fence line for the home itself. So we add in the trees in the backyard, and we have a nice stump cut down over there. And then we're adding in the flowers and grass growth around these trees to kind of spruce them up so that it's not just straight tree trunk and everything. I just think it makes it look a little bit better, thinking that the plants were growing around these trees. Now, what I'm setting up here is this house is designed to do a garden, because I am planning on using this house for a challenge that is actually going to be ending soon, so I need to work on it real quick, where there is a Sims plant challenge where you can actually turn your sim into a plant. So I'm trying to set up a garden in the backyard so that this house would be designed for it. Hence the name Rose Manor. So I wanted to do kind of like a gazebo type area over here in the back to do a fire pit and kind of like hang out and spot. But because of the fact that I'm on a foundation for this home, I can't use the gazebo design that I usually use for this backyard because it makes those pillars too short to be able to reach the roof. So I have to get rid of that whole area, and decided to make that area out of rocks, which it's not as good as the idea that I originally had, but it's pretty close to it. You still get the fire pit hangout, and it looks pretty good. So we come back over here, and we're just kind of setting up some walk paths and stuff like that, and adding some trees to, like I said, block off the fence line. And we come up to the front yard, finish off by adding in some flowers around these trees and some flowers around the walk path to the front door. And that's pretty much it, guys. There's not much to this house. It's a really fun house to work on. It's a great house if you want to work on gardening, but it's designed for maybe 1 to 2 Sims. I really like this house, guys. I hope you guys like this house. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.